Hey everyone, Retire on Dividends here. We made it to the end of the month. I'm recording this video on Saturday, November 30th. Probably going to launch it on Tuesday at 3 p.m. But again, it's all good. This is my month-end update to my Retire Now account. What is my Retire Now account? It's basically my account where I invest in a taxable account. I invest in high yield dividend funds and I do options trading in hopes that I can retire much earlier than the world wants you to, much earlier than 59 and a half, much earlier than 65 years old, right? So I don't want to have to rely on Social Security to retire. I don't want to have to rely on whatever's in my 401k to retire. I want to invest in a taxable account now so I can use the money now and retire early if I want to. So anyway, let's get into what's in my account. So let's go from the top. I do own AMZ. I still own AMZ. AMZ is a covered call ETF for YieldMax. I own 300 shares. I have a cost basis of $21.05. They're currently valued at $19.14. So again, I'm kind of still buying into them. They are 8.65% of my total portfolio, which is okay, which makes up about $5,742. So capital gain wise, just capital, I am down $573. However, this month alone, they did pay me $351.93. So for that actually yields, is this times 13? Yeah, it does. That actually yields 72.45%. As most of you know, my goal yield is 40%. Well, now it's 60% now that I'm using margin, but we'll just say 40 to 60%. So that's above both. So that's awesome. That gets added to my updated total distributions now. 2,563 is how much I received from AMZ. They have paid me back 40% of my original investment. Now, if I look at total return, which is capital plus dividends, I made 1,990, which is actually a 31% total return. So that's how I'm doing on AMZ overall. NVIDIA, I'm doing even better. I have 200 shares of NVIDIA. I have a cost basis of $21.56. They're currently valued at $25.26. So my current investment is $5,052, which is about 7.6% of my portfolio. Capital gains alone. So if I sold the fund today, I would make capital gains of $740. That's just capital gains. This past month, they paid me $204.56, which is a yield on cost of 61%. Again, fantastic. My updated distribution total is now $4,141. So I have been paid back 96% of my original investment, which again, it's unbelievable. It's unheard of to have a fund that not only am I up on capital, but they've paid me 96% of my original investment. Now, if we look at total return, again, this is dividends plus capital gains. I have made, again, some of this is on paper, $4,881. And my total return on this particular fund is 113.2%. Again, these numbers are really unheard of. Now, let's go to Nefli. Nefli and Phoebe, they're in gray. Why are they in gray? Well, I decided to cut ties with them, right? I don't know if you guys saw, but SMCI, or SMCY, that's a covered call ETF, and the underlying is SMCI. It was kind of a reminder and a wake-up call, for everyone that investing in individual stocks does have its risks. So obviously, if you invest in a covered call ETF that invests in one individual company, obviously there is risk. Now, at the same time, not only that, thinking about that, I did need more money to free up for options trading. So I did have to cut ties with someone. So Nefli was one of my favorites from the beginning, but I had no problem letting them go. And then Phoebe, I was always on the fence with Phoebe anyway, so I had no problem letting them go. I did get a distribution, though, for Phoebe for the month before I let them go. I got $208.90, which is all good. Total return, is that even updated? Yeah, it's not updated. But you'll see on the bottom what the total return I got out of them was. All right, let's move on. Ulty, I own 530 shares. I have a cost basis of 12.13. Their current price is 10.08. So I'm actually down a decent amount. I'm down $1,000 in capital on them. They are 8% of my portfolio. But, again, I trust that this fund will overall stay flat and pay us distributions, hopefully. If not, I am comfortable still adding because I love the fund and I love what it's about. It's just something that I cannot do, so I'd be happy to pay them to do it for me. And look at this. This latest monthly distribution paid me $432. Awesome. The yield on cost, even though I'm down, right? My cost basis is not that great. I'm still getting a yield on cost of 87%. I mean, you got to love it. Updated distributions, they have paid me $1,834. So they paid back 28% of my original investment. Total return this is capital gains, which you saw I was down, plus distributions. Total return, I am up on Ulty, up $748 or 11%. So not bad. Spy, they're still hanging out, man. They're still in the portfolio, but I got to be honest, they don't do much for me. I'll show you the numbers, though. The numbers are pretty impressive. 70 shares I have, a cost basis of $47.70. Their price is $52.28. So obviously you see they do have capital appreciation. They're only 5% of my portfolio, or $3,659. I do have capital gains on paper, $320.60. Now here's the problem. See their monthly distribution, $36. Like, what the hell's the point, right? Like, I'm gonna put $3,000 or $3,600. I'm gonna shell that out for $36 a month, and I'm yielding 13%. Like, is that worth the money? Not really. It's not. But again, the fund is having capital appreciation, and if I don't have to sell them, I won't, but I will if needed. Updated distribution total for them, they paid me $535 in total, $535.73. That's 16% of my original investment. Total return, capital appreciation plus distributions, I am up $856, which is a 25% total return. Again, good stuff. Last but not least, Fepp. I own 110 shares of Fepp. I have a cost basis of $54.73, which is kind of high considering Fepp is at $51.20. Current allocation, they are 8.49% of my portfolio, and I am down $388.30 in capital. But, that's okay. Monthly distributions, they paid me $120 this month, which is a 24% yield on cost. Obviously, we know they yield 25%, but since my cost basis sucks, my yield on cost is 24%. Updated total distributions show $1,037. So they have paid me back 17% of my original investment. My total return on them is $649. So I have a positive total return of 10.79%. So again, as you can see, I'm doing well on all of the funds. And then I get down here and options. So I trade options on TSLL, TNA, BitX, and Soxal. Okay. Now, Soxal is the only one I really got assigned or have gotten assigned and own, through the end of the month. I own 600 shares of Soxal at $31.50. Soxal is actually at $28.06, right? So I am down. However, I am still making money on those shares. I did make an options video this past weekend, so you guys can check that out. My current investment, my current value of Soxal, $16,836. That's 25% of my portfolio. So yeah, am I doing risky? Yeah, 25% of my portfolio is on one fund. So yeah, that's risky. But guess what? Look how much I made in options this month, $2,598. All right. So that obviously helps boost up my account. Also for cash, I do have 36% of my portfolio is still in cash, which is $24,000. And that's used for selling puts, which basically, it's collateral for puts, or it's money that I can buy Ulty if it's down, or some of the others if they're down. But I also use my margin for puts, and unless they get assigned, the margin won't be used. And as you can see, margin interest, it's zero. So I haven't been charged margin. I'm using margin, yes, via selling puts, but if that money, if I'm not getting assigned, then that obviously that margin, I'm not going to get charged interest until I'm actually physically using the money, until I physically own shares using that margin. All right, so the end result for the month, I made $3,952. My total portfolio balance is $66,373. I'm really proud of those numbers. Again, really good stuff. I can't complain. What else? Oh yeah, down below I wanted to show you, when I sold out of Netflix, my cost basis was $17.92. I sold at $18.59, so I did get a capital gain of $187. They did pay me a total, in dividends. This is all the months, obviously, $2,113. So in the end, I made a profit of 45% in playing around with Netflix. Now, playing around with Phoebe, my cost basis was $19.83. However, I had to sell for a loss because I sold at $19.17. So that was a loss capital gain wise of $165. However, in dividends, I did make $1,099. So overall profit on Phoebe was 18.84%. So again, no regrets. Both of these funds I believe they are still really good. I just didn't need them as much as the others, so I decided, let me get rid of them. All right. Again, it's a risk owning the individual stocks, especially covered call ETF on an individual stock, right? Versus owning like say Fepp, right, or Ulty, right? So I don't know. So I let them go. It's all good. It's all good. All right, now let's see how I did as compared to my goals. Let's go to the summary tab here. Let me zoom out so I get the proper headers in there. There you go. All right, and I'll keep maybe the last 3 months. So again, we're in November. My November goal, if you look under income, it was $3,151.43. This is column B. It's cell B29. That was my goal. My actual, it's green, which means I hit it. I made $3,952. So check, goal check. But check this out, even better. My capital goal, which I never ever hit, is in C29, $66,180. Guess what? My capital ended up at $66,373.99. Do you believe it? I'm 0.29% above my capital goal. It hasn't been since June that I actually hit the capital goal. I had a slump of 4 months, but now I'm back on track, which is, again, I couldn't ask for more. Now, if you look how much I made versus how much my capital is, my yield is 71%. So again, on my total capital, based on how much I'm making for the month, that is a yield of 71%. So we can check the formula. What did I do? So it's D29 times 12, or obviously 12 months in a year, divided by E29, which is my total capital, and that's the yield. So I am yielding 71%. And if you look at the top, I have yield 40%, which is my goal. However, now that I'm using margin, I'm upping it because, again, I'm playing with more money. So I'm not adding a yield to the capital plus margin. I'm basing my goal yield only on the capital that I do have, which means my goal yield with margin has to be 60% based on the current capital that I have, if that makes sense. So if you look, like next month's income, it's taking, cell C29, which is the prior estimate goal, multiplying it by B4, which is 60%. So that is my goal yield. All right. Anyway, I don't know, man. I had a really good month. What can I say? There's going to be good months. There's going to be bad months. But one thing is for sure, except for the first month when I started, I have hit my income goal every single month. So that being said, let's take a look here. Let's zoom in a little. Oh, I got to keep the headers. Crap, where'd it go? There you go. All right, so let's just fast forward, right? So next, let's see where in the first goal. Let's see when I'm going to hit 100K. I'm going to hit 100K based on this, calculation, August of next year. Hopefully I can hit that earlier, but right now it's showing August of next year. All right. Now, what about income? When am I going to hit some good numbers here? And what is a good number, right? 10,000 a month, that's 120,000. that's okay. It's not enough to retire. How about 20,000, right? What is that, 240,000 a year? January of 2028. That's more doable, right? So again, when can I retire? Who the hell knows, right? All I know is it better be less than 5 years, okay? Maybe it'll be earlier because, again, yes, I'm making money on YouTube. Obviously, you're watching my YouTube channel. But more importantly, obviously, I'm making, a lot of money doing options, and getting dividend income, which is fantastic. So hopefully in due time, again, I don't have a set date. I'm going to start as I get closer and closer. I should commit to a date and try to stick with it and say, this is the date, not when I will retire, but when I can retire. And I'll do my damnedest to get there. Because as most of you know, I don't invest new money because I don't have new money to invest because I have to pay bills. I have two young kids. My wife stays home. So again, things are very expensive nowadays. So my income goes all towards the bills. So I can't put new money here. I'm only reinvesting right now, at least 100% of this income. But if the time comes where I need this income for expensive, then so be it. But right now I'm able to reinvest like this $3,952. This is all getting reinvested, right? And, as long as that's the case, then I could be on my way to making a lot of money in the future, right? Look at this. If I wait until December 2030, it's possible that I can make $111,000 a month. Could you believe that? Oh man, I don't know if I want to work that long though, but that would be fantastic. And again, I'd have to work that long because in order for me to make that much, I'd have to reinvest all of this each and every month. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. But anyway, as always, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, we will try again next month. Again, I do this update once a month. So hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully it's maybe a little motivating for people just starting off. Again, how much did I start off with? I had about, $41,000, which I basically took both of our Roths and I closed them out because I said, screw that. I'm done. I'm not setting the goal to 59.5. I'm setting the goal to much earlier. We paid the penalty last year, so it's on. Let's go. Let's retire early, baby. Anyway, guys, I just want to say, if you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions, leave them down below, and we'll do my best to get to it. And I just want to say, again, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. All right, keep going, guys. Keep going. You'll get there. Set your goals. Make a spreadsheet. Do it. Just do it. Just start. We got this. All right, I'm out of here. I hope you guys have a great day. Later.